Most of the serious aspirants hover around the bracket of 115 to 125 marks in essay exam. Problem of these aspirants is not the content but their poor expression. They largely follow the writing style of GS in essay as well. In this video, I will share few expression techniques which will easily give jump of 20 to 30 marks to serious aspirants, provided you practice them well beforehand. Hello everyone, I'm Abhinav Gar. I'm BTech from IIT Roorkee. I did my MA in Sociology from Delhi School of Economics and I have extensive experience of writing mains. Let me first begin with highlighting the importance of structure and flow of an essay. The structure and flow of an essay aids in effective and exact expression. It is most effective way of communicating, putting across your point of view. It gives voice to the essay and it aids in keeping the attention of the examiner. Actually, it is the flow of the essay which is the main demand of this exam. What flow does is the flow brings the orderly arrangement of ideas. In the flow, one idea should be leading to another. There should be continuity of thought. There should be no discontinuities. So the structure of an essay is actually device. It's an actually template that brings flow to your essay. Structure of an essay includes introduction, body, and conclusion. The introduction is the attention grabbing aspect of your essay. The body is attention keeping aspect of your essay, and conclusion gives the sense of completion to the examiner that you have handled the topic holistically. The introduction, body, and conclusion should be so arranged that merely reading introduction, the first stanza of every paragraph in the body, and conclusion of the essay should give examiner a fair amount of idea of what you have argued in the essay. This you will be supposed to write two essays in the exam, and each essay should should vary from 1000 to 1200 words, and there is a standard parameter that introduction and conclusion combined should constitute 1/3 of your essay length. So this roughly translates into 150 to 200 words for intro and 150 to 200 words for conclusion. And let's also discuss the scope of the essay that you have to write in 1200 words. See, by going by the template of essays, 1200 word essay is not a very long essay. So you cannot write everything in minute detail for for such essay. You have to merely give a bird's eye view of on the particular topic which has been asked, but you have to make it very holistic. You have to explore the essay from multiple dimensions. That's why it is very necessary to keep the whole ideas that you're discussing in the essay concise and give the examiner the bird's eye view, the holistic view of the given topic. I will be taking example of this topic to explain how to write introduction, body, and conclusion. The topic is neglect of primary health care and education in India are reasons for its backwardness. This has been asked in 2019 UPSC exam. Let us begin with that how to write the introduction. Introduction is the most yellow part of your essay. Yellow as in yellow journalism. That is showy, glittery part of your essay. And its voice should be rhetorical in nature. It has three parts. It should be divided in three parts, your introduction. The first is attention grabbing aspect. The second is stating main thesis. And the third is setting expectations of the examiner for the rest of the essay. Since you have to write the introduction within 200 words, so keep all these three aspects very, very concise. Your introduction should be non-explanatory, because if you get into explanation, it will expand the size of introduction and it will go beyond the 200 words. Let us look at what the attention grabbing aspect is, how to grab the attention at the outset of your essay. The attention can be the way of attention grabbing is actually highlighting the context in which the essay has been asked. You are communicating here to the examiner that you have understood why the topic has been asked in the first place. There are multiple ways of doing this. The one is using a scholarly quote. Since this topic is about human development, primary health and education, you can quote a scholar with human development approach. For example, Amartya Sen. The second way of grabbing the attention could be sharing an anecdote. The anecdote here can be a cooked up story, but it should be realistic story. You sort of begin with an anecdote about some girl or a boy from backward region of India, for example, KBK districts of Odisha, and tell how neglect of primary education and health is contributing towards the vicious cycle of poverty, and it makes it very, very difficult to come out of that vicious cycle of the poverty. And the third way of highlighting the context can be, bringing in the current situation, the current issues around it. The anecdote and the scholarly quote is also current, but for example, you can bring out that how India is lagging behind even its South Asian neighbors in human development indicators. So that will and because that news is creating a lot of fuss and political fuss around it. So it will catch the context of this essay. And you can also quote the data, for example, HDI scores or our position at SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. All these, the writing of scholarly quote or sharing an anecdote or highlighting the current situation, should actually lead you to stating the main thesis of your essay. That is your position on the topic of the essay. It should be the highlighting the context art aspect should flow into your position on the topic of the essay. This stating main thesis in the introduction itself helps in giving voice to your essay. It becomes the rallying point around which the body of your essay will be argued. It helps you in keeping close to the subject of your essay, which is the demand of the exam. It also makes it easier for the examiner to make sense of your body, the main body of your essay. The third aspect of introduction is setting the expectations of the examiner, that what is to follow in the body of the essay, the rest of the essay. This can be done in two ways. In one way, in the first way, you could highlight and indicate the examiner how you would be proceeding with the essay. For example, that you will be analyzing the social aspect of the issue, economic, cultural, legal, so and so forth. So you will indicate that how you are going to argue. And another way, which is quite effective and more preferable way, would be contrasting the main thesis of your essay with the antithesis of the position that you have taken. For example, in this essay, if your main thesis is supporting the human development approach, its antithesis would naturally be the trickle down approach to economics. So you contrast your thesis with the antithesis in question format. For example, you question the trickle down economics with the human development approach. What it does is it sets the stage. This combined, the whole introduction combined, sets the stage for the rest of your essay, and it also aids in the flow of your essay. Let us now come to the body aspect of the essay. Body is a place where you have to justify all the tall claims that you have already made in the introduction. Therefore, the body is the most non-rhetorical, very grounded aspect of your essay. And it is very, very important to define all the technical terms in your body, because if you do not define the technical terms in your body, they will act as jargons and they will act as bouncers to the examiner, and it will interrupt the flow of your essay. And the body aspect is most explanatory aspect of your essay. So there's this standard exercise of dealing one idea in one paragraph which has to be followed in the body. So let's see the structure of the paragraph. Like essay, a paragraph should also be structured. The paragraph has three parts: the subthesis, the idea that you are going to discuss in that paragraph, the substantiation of that idea, and the subconclusion, the conclusion of the idea that you're going to discuss in the paragraph. Taking the example of the essay that we are taking as example, the subthesis, for example, can be that poor nutrition in early life takes toll on productivity in the adult life of a person. It can be substantiated through some data, or it can be substantiated by developing that idea by logic or by from the literature, whatever we know about these things. For example, poor nutrition leads to stunting, wasting, and low cognitive development, especially in the early stages of life. In the subconclusion, you should also connect the subconclusion with the main thesis which have been mentioned in the introduction. Remember, you have to make your essay bird's eye view. So you dig inside an idea, and then you connect that idea to your main thesis. So that completes the bird's eye view. And also add a hook in your conclusion, which is hooking it to the next idea, the next paragraph. This we are doing to bring flow to the essay. We will look at this by example. So the sub-conclusion would be linking the low productivity in adult life with the development of low human capital, and then link it with that how low human capital is making keeping India backward, and then link it with as the connector for a next paragraph, that how human capital is so necessary for knowledge economy. And then in next paragraph, the next subthesis, you could take the subthesis as interconnection of knowledge economy and innovation, and then you can talk about how education is important for innovation. So in this way, you will be able to build a chain of ideas, one idea leading to another. You are slipping from idea to idea rather than jumping from idea to idea. In the body aspect, there is another issue of subheadings. Including subheadings is a desirable aspect. You should be including them if you are able to club couple of ideas, maybe 3 or 4 ideas into one theme. So that your whole essay has 3 or 4 subheadings. Do not make your essay do not take write too many subheadings to your essay, because your essay is not very long. It's just 1200 words essay. So limit your subheadings to 4, 3, 4, at, yeah, not even 5. Just maximum limit should be 4. And one more technique which aids in the flow of essay and keeping the and retaining the attention of the examiner is pit stopping. I would be using random access memory analogy to explain it. See, our mind cannot hold many ideas in the mind, at a time. It can hold just 2 or 3 ideas in the mind. So while you in the body you're discussing like multiple ideas, examiner will lose touch with the previous ideas that you have discussed. So to prevent that, what you will do is you add 2 or 3 lines between paragraphs, like summing the previous 2 ideas or 3 ideas, and then moving on to next ideas. For example, you can say, we have already seen the social or economic aspects of this and that. Let's look at the legal repercussions, or so and so forth. So this, what this will do is, it will recapitulate the ideas in the mind of the examiner, and it will also aid in flow. After looking at introduction and body part, this brings us to the conclusion aspect of the essay. You have to handle conclusion aspect very, very tactfully, because after conclusion, reading your conclusion, examiner is about to award marks to you. So it is the last, place where you have the opportunity of making an lasting impression on the mind of examiner. So the conclusion is also divided into 2 parts. One is the summing up of the arguments that you have discussed in the body. The other is providing the way forward. Looking at the summing up of the argument aspect, the summing of argument aspect is the chain of sub-conclusions that you have argued in the body. So you just sum up, refurbish the memory of the examiner, that what you have discussed in the body. This is also the last point of for you to wash your sins. If you were not able to maintain well enough flow in your body, the summing up of argument aspect of conclusion gives you opportunity to at least bring that flow in that paragraph. And this aspect of conclusion can also be used for mentioning ideas that you have missed in your body aspect, because it is advisable that you shouldn't disturb the flow of the body, because many times it happens that while you are writing it, some idea pops up, but you can't add that idea right away in the body, because it might disturb the flow of the body. So it is advisable to add that idea in the summing up aspect. Do not elaborate on that idea, just write the conclusion, the sub conclusion of that idea. And then this brings us to the way forward aspect. Like introduction, the way forward is also, you can make it very, very rhetorical, bordering utopian, like making very bright foresight. It is one position in the essay where you have the opportunity of exhibiting your foresight, which is a hallmark of a great intellect. And you can also end, it's an option, desirable option, that you end your essay with the quote. And do not litter your essay with more than 2 quotes. It's very, very, graceful to start an essay with a quote and end with a quote. Summing up the essay writing exercise, essay writing is all about effective communication. And to achieve effective communication, it is important that your communication should be structured and should have a flow. If your essay has structure and flow, it will have a voice. And if your essay has a voice, it will add meaning and impact in the mind of the examiner. And if it is able to create meaning and impact in the mind of the examiner, you are assured 150 plus marks in essay exam. For effective essay writing, it is also important that I should discuss the importance of making a draft before writing an essay. You'll be you will have 1.5 hours to deal with one essay. And let me assure you, you can easily devote half an hour to making a draft. If you make, if you by practice are able to make effective drafts, one and even if you take half an hour to make that draft, I assure you that in 1 hour you'll be able to easily complete your essay. I I claim that you will be able to write your essay in 50 minutes, and you will be spared 10 minutes to even revise your essay. So it is very important that you make enough drafts of different essay so that you perfect this aspect of essay. If you are writing full essays like maybe 5 or 6, at least practice 20 drafts. How to go about making draft? So whenever you come across an essay, the first thing would be, like your mind will, start throwing ideas. Like it will be jumble of ideas. Just so write in the rough work those ideas, and when your mind is sort of empty, it has, given out all the ideas, you will be able to arrive at the main thesis of your essay, because all the different ideas are in front of you. So after you arrive at the main thesis, then write that main thesis and try to develop, rearrange the ideas which you have in jumbled format into, you know rearrange them and give them order, that how which idea will come first and which will idea will follow that. So I advise you that you should perfect this art of making draft. If you are able to perfect this art, nothing can, take away 150 marks away from you. I assure you that. So yes, do write essays. Write one essay today itself. Do it now. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends who are also writing this exam. And do subscribe to my channel. In the description of this video, you'll find two groups. One is for sociology, because I did my MA in sociology, and I'm sharing some interesting material on that group. And the other group is for GS and essay. I can also check some of your essays and give inputs, or maybe can make another video sharing the ideas about the essays that I have received, because some people might have, you know, brought some innovative approaches. So yes, do check out those Telegram links and write to me, write essay. I'll be happy to review some of them. Thank you.